It was November 30, 1995, when President Bill Clinton signed a quiet but symbolic order in Washington, D.C. No crowds gathered. No ceremonies marked the occasion. But with a single signature, the United States officially ended the national emergency declared during the 1991 Gulf War, the conflict known as Operation Desert Storm. To understand the weight of that moment, we go back 4 years. In early 1991, after Iraq's invasion of Kuwait, the U.S. and a massive international coalition launched a fast and overwhelming military campaign. It drove Iraqi forces out of Kuwait in just weeks. A ceasefire followed, but tensions remained. Iraq was still required to comply with strict conditions: weapons inspections, no-fly zones, and international sanctions. Because of these ongoing uncertainties, the U.S. kept the national emergency active. It allowed the government to enforce economic sanctions, control Iraqi assets, and maintain military readiness in the Gulf. But by 1995, the global landscape had shifted. The Cold War was over. Iraq, weakened and isolated, posed less immediate risk. International monitoring was in place. And so, on that late November day, President Clinton announced that the emergency tied directly to Operation Desert Storm would finally come to an end. The order did not lift all restrictions on Iraq. Sanctions and UN resolutions still remained in force, but it symbolically closed the chapter on one of the most decisive military operations of the post-Vietnam era. For Americans, the Gulf War had been swift, televised, and unforgettable. For the Middle East, it reshaped alliances and set the stage for decades of geopolitical tension. And for Washington, ending the emergency marked a transition into a new phase of U.S.-Iraq relations, one defined not by open conflict, but by containment, pressure, and uneasy watchfulness. On November 30, 1995, the United States formally stepped out of the shadow of Desert Storm. The war was over. But its consequences were far from finished.